Galileo Galilei was born into a poor musician's family in Pisa, Italy, in 1564 CE. As a child, he secretly listened to his father playing the piano, becoming fascinated by natural laws for the first time. At 18, he timed the swaying of a church chandelier with his pulse, refuting Aristotle's fallacy that heavier objects fall faster. Yet professors reprimanded him, parasitical delusion. At 22, he invented the hydrostatic balance, selling it to Venetian merchants to fund his studies. At 28, his application for a teaching position at the University of Pisa was rejected 17 times. He had to grind lenses by candlelight in a basement. At 35, he built a telescope and discovered Jupiter's 4 moons, staying awake all night with excitement. However, his paper was dismissed by the church as Satan's illusion. At 42, observing the phases of Venus to prove Copernicus' heliocentric theory, he was summoned by the Inquisition. At 50, he published Sidereus Nuncius and became famous overnight, yet was reported by a student for blaspheming the Bible. At 63, he completed dialogue concerning the two world systems, demonstrating the law of inertia with a pizza pan. His close friend mocked, "Can this put food on the table?" At 67, convicted of heresy for supporting heliocentrism, he was sentenced to life imprisonment. He carved on the wall, "The earth still moves." At 70, blind in both eyes, he still used his tongue to taste salt water to verify the relationship between tides and the moon. At 76, he secretly entrusted someone to smuggle his manuscript out of the country by sewing it into bread. At 77, the church allowed the publication of discourses and mathematical demonstrations relating to 2 new sciences. Touching the cover, he said, "At least it wasn't burned." At 78, he refused to recant on his deathbed, his last words being "Epis I move." Galileo fought against 1,000 years of prejudice with his disabled body. In his later years, he wrote, "My greatest discovery is that the church also fears the truth."